So we're back for the 5th episode. 5. Wow. This goes
5
quick.
weeks.
5 weeks.
Yeah.
Week 5 of the NFL. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of really crazy football. Like, not really a number one team in my eyes. Like, I don't know if there's a clear-cut greatest team in the NFL on either side of the NFC or the AFC.
No.
Talking about the Patriots this week, a really weird, strange loss. Sloppy football, uncharacteristic to the Broncos, which the Broncos, I think everyone was just kind of like, oh, it's the Broncos and Drew Lock. And
people forget about their defense, though. The defense is good defense.
I mean, you got hats off to the defensive coordinator who came up with a great game plan, getting after
it's
the
mostly
Patriots.
Coach, though, Fangio, is it?
Yeah. But I think that when you are playing the Patriots and you have 2 weeks because of this whole COVID thing, and look, they had 2 weeks. They didn't have to deal with the coronavirus stuff. Like, they were practicing for a week. Then they said, hey, you got a bye week. They were ready to play. So it just gave them ample time to just continue to game plan and go over the things that they wanted to tweak. And, I mean, let's be honest. Offensively, the Pats just don't look good. They don't look good. Cam, like the
it's
one thing.
Weird, though.
My one critique is I feel like sometimes when Cam throws the ball, he's almost like he
he's always been that way.
I know.
That's
he
his
throws
throwing
his head
motion.
the other way,
Yeah.
and just it's like he's just chucking it.
Yeah.
So I look at the offense and I just wonder, like, where's the big? And I said this week 1, week 2, when everyone was like, "Oh, they're awesome." I just said, my biggest concern is, when they have to score, when they have to throw a ball down the field, when they need to score in 5 plays. Can they? In this game, they scored 1 touchdown. Cam scored 1 rushing touchdown. But I'm saying, throwing the ball,
45-yard
yeah,
rush.
throwing the ball in. And Denver tried to give you the game. They literally were like, "Hey, guess what? We're up here. Let's give you this game with 4 minutes left. Let me throw back-to-back interceptions. Like, come on." They didn't score. So defensively,
they actually had a good running game going too. I mean,
exactly.
They could have just run the clock out.
Yes. So when I think of the Patriots as a whole right now, defense, they're the strongest part of that team is their secondary.
Yeah,
they're so good.
Nobody can debate that.
No, they can't. So
but here, the linebackers though are starting to play a lot better. Bentley had a big game.
Yep. Bentley played well. He had a lot of tackles.
The pass rush is getting a little bit better.
He's better straightforward. Like, he's better just going straight ahead. Kind of like, High's different player, not the same category as High, but when you think of Hightower, I think like A gap blitz, B gap blitz, running back no chance, just go right through it, make a play. So
that's Bentley.
That's his I guess best area to play. When you motion out somebody and he's got to cover an angle route or he's got to slow pace, tempo the ball, I don't think that's his best place to be as a linebacker, but I'm confident in the defense. I think the defense can come around, and I think that they can continue to improve. I think the pass rush is going to continue to just build up as the season goes.
Yep.
But really, just the receiving core, a lot of questions. 11 looks nicked up. He's not a spring chicken.
Yeah.
He's not 25. He's at the back part. He's in the back 9. You know what I'm saying? So I think there was unrealistic expectations of what Jules should have been this year because of the fact he's a beast and he does a lot of great things in big moments and he's made so many plays for the Pats.
He's not a wide receiver 1 anymore.
He's not like the. Well, I would say that he never was a number 1. He had a
stretch last few years.
He's a great guy, a great possession guy that when the game is on the line, you're going to just beat him over the head with the ball. And Tom, because we had Tom, was going to feed him the ball, and we saw that in Seattle this year with Cam.
Yeah, but that was the only game.
But that was really it. So
he hasn't got. I don't think he's had more than 6 targets since.
I think that he's dealing with something. Obviously, he's dealing with something. So other than Jules, I'm not worried about him. I know on Sunday we're going to get the best that he can give you. It's just
what can he give you?
It's what else? What other player can step up and be a guy like Jules? Where hey, look, we need a catch here. We need a big play. Boom, put it on him, and he does it. So. Harry's. I don't know if he's going to be.
He looks lost.
I think within
You don't think that last play was Harry's fault?
I don't know. Did he slip?
He didn't slip. It's just, they had inside leverage on it, and Cam thought he was going to be cutting back out because the inside leverage, the zero blitz, he thought he was going to be cutting back out, and it's like he didn't. Yeah. He kept going. He kept going, being jammed in the middle, and didn't break back out. I obviously don't know. You don't know what the route is.
That also comes down to chemistry, and that comes to time.
Yeah.
So not having time, not having the chemistry, not having practice. So with Bill after the game saying, look, it's really hard to do anything when you don't have practice time.
Yeah. Well, I think it's
so let's chalk that one up. Hopefully that game was just a rare thing that we're going to see as far as just overall play.
Yep.
And with some practice time, they'll be a little bit better. Because I don't know why they just strayed away from the run and just basically didn't run the football.
They got away from the run, but I think a lot of it is everybody wants to compare them to the Titans, right? The Titans had all this time off. They came in and just beat the Bills up. Well, there's two things with Titans, right? The quarterback's been there for 2 years.
Yep.
I mean, you have
the best running back in the league.
Running back in the league. You have great receivers. You get good tight ends.
Good offensive line. I mean, the Pats have a great offensive line.
They do, but not in that game when you have all the injuries and everything. You're down 3 linemen in that game. Yep. But I don't think that's really 100% the point. It's that Cam Newton has literally practiced. How many practices has Cam Newton actually had with this team, including?
It's limited.
Including training camp.
It's limited.
Like, he hasn't had that much. I mean, and when you don't have playmakers on the team, like difference makers, like that one guy that can go out there, like a Julio Jones or something like that, and go out there and just make a play for you,
100%.
You have to rely on being a team that's practiced, that that has all
situations,
that has
doesn't screw up on any.
And I think you could kind of see it going in Seattle where they were getting there. And the Raiders, he wasn't that bad in there. I mean, obviously, and then you go to the Chiefs game, he's not there. I just don't think they were all there. I don't think it's fair to compare him to the Titans, where the Titans had time off and they came out and blew the Bills away.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's fair. Because you have this team without a difference maker, it has to be.
What's your overall feel right now of the team? Because I would say this, like 2-3 is odd, 2-4 is never.
You can't go 2.
You really don't ever see that here. I've never been alive. I don't think.
But the only thing though, this is one of the hardest schedules they've had early on.
True, but I don't think it lightens up. I mean, this is a tough schedule.
It's a very tough schedule.
Stretch. So this whole stretch, you got 2 fluff games with the Jets. Like, those are going to be just practice games.
Yeah.
So
they've got some easy games coming up. I mean, they've got some hard games coming up. You still have Baltimore 49ers this week. There's another. I think is it the Steelers?
They don't play the Steelers. Do they play the Steelers? I think they do play the Steelers.
I thought they did.
We should know this. We should know if they play the Steelers or not. Stupid, terrible towels.
I'm looking it up. Let's see.
The one thing too, I think that in this weird 2020, the power rankings. You look at the power rankings. Number 1, Seattle. Well, Seattle's defense is suspect, and if Seattle had anything close to what they've had in the past for defense, they would be. No Steelers. No Steelers. We knew that.
Good.
Good, because they look good.
Yeah.
So it's just weird. Like, your top teams, this Kansas City, I mean, they kind of a win's a win.
Doesn't look like they did.
No,
last
they don't.
year.
They don't.
I mean,
Kansas City doesn't
offensively and defensively.
They don't. They don't look the same. I mean, the Bills look like a pumpkin now. Happy Halloween. So, I mean, they just look like the Bills. They don't scare me. I think the Pats can beat the Bills. So, division-wise,
the Dolphins look pretty decent.
They do, but
I mean,
I don't get why go to Tua. Why?
That was just that's the surprise.
I feel like they're in a good mojo. Like Tua came in the game because they were absolutely destroying the team that they were playing. And look, you put in Tua, okay, he has 1 completion, but I mean, look, I trust B. Flo. He's a smart guy. He's a great coach. Maybe
is it pressure from the ownership to get Tua in there?
Probably,
he's going to sell more.
Probably because his jersey sales are going to go through the roof.
There's no reason to. Like,
there's no reason.
The kid's been in the league for 5 games now. I mean,
so I just don't get that. That's the one question mark. I should call B. Flo. Be like, yo, what's up right now? Like, 5 weeks in, he still just had a hip injury. Like,
but the thing too is, doesn't the team like Fitzpatrick and all that? It's not even like
there's
no way that team's like revolting
against. You guys have
against
similar
Fitzpatrick.
beards, by the way.
No, I got a better beard than Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I don't get. I feel like the chemistry with Fitzpatrick is good right now. I feel like he's playing well.
You're 3-3 as the Dolphins.
You hope that this doesn't. I mean, Fitzpatrick's been through all the ups and downs and BS of the league, so it's not like he's going to be like, "Oh, I'm not the starter." He's just going to be like, "All right, well,
he hasn't had a bad game.
He hasn't had a bad game. Well, the first game he kind of blew.
I don't know if he really blew.
Pats, he didn't look great. I mean, he threw like two what do you know, 2 picks?
Yeah, but when you're running the ball that much, gaining that much yards on the ground,
yeah.
He was playing from behind most of that game and everything. He's looked good. I just don't understand that, especially when you're in second place. But it's just weird now. I think like in each division or in each conference, you have like 9 or 10 teams that can make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, as of right now. I mean, obviously, I think the preseason has been bigger now, not having a preseason. I hope people can
Well,
really
then this
see
is
it
another
now.
thing, too, where everyone's like, oh, let's just get rid of the preseason to go down to 2 games. Like, maybe you need the 4 games to prepare, to get your team ready, to have the right roster. People don't even realize, like, the rosters aren't the same rosters that they would be if you had a preseason to where you can evaluate and go through your roster, look at who's the best fit.
Yep.
There's guys on this team, and it's a business.
Yeah.
Guys that are drafted or have a big contract, they're going to stick around. It's clear cut. I mean, if Harry was a 4th-round pick, I don't think he'd be on the field as much. Right?
So I think Jacoby Myers would be in
it's
there.
just the basics, the economics of the NFL. Like, I had to climb and fight to get up the ladder because I was at the bottom. And to replace a guy that's got money, really not going to happen. So, I just look at this season, and it's really tough for the guys that practice squad players, guys that could have potentially made the team, but there was no preseason. And we're seeing the quality of football and injuries, the amount of injuries, which are, speaking of injuries, awesome adventures. No, this is the great adventures of a Cujo, the attack dog. No, that's cool. My wife's like, yeah, that's dumb. Those are like his fangs right there, the puncture marks.
You have one on the other arm too?
No,
just that one.
Yeah, just that one. Well, this was
that's a week ago though too.
I know. It's crazy. There. It's crazy. Well, maybe I'm a slow healer. I don't know. But what's our next adventure? I think this would. I got a couple ideas. Give us some feedback on this. We could go to the kart place down on Route 1.
Yeah,
and just Ninko versus O'Brien. Yeah. Just see what happens. Yeah. Well, you're lighter, so I feel like the kart would be faster. We got to weight your cart to be the same weight. Then it's fair. It's fair. Yeah. Wait, you think the horses, when they race the horses, they made the jockeys for a reason, and they make everybody the same weight, so it's all
but in
fair.
Mario Kart, like, King Koopa
I
wins
actually
sometimes.
was talking. I know the GM over there, and he said that with an electric car or electric carts, which that is on Route 1.
Yeah.
The weight doesn't matter because it's instant torque.
Crazy torque.
Yeah. So what we could do that, or I was thinking we could go to Southwick Zoo because I'm friends with Roland. I know the owner.
Take bites from the tigers,
and we could throw some steaks at the tigers. I'm not putting any suit on to get bit by a tiger. Slap a rhino. I want to see you slap a rhino and run away. See if he gets you now.
See he was fast enough.
See he was fast enough. We could do that. Feed the giraffes. We'll do that. It's something cool. We're gonna do some more cool stuff.
Yeah. I think last week is good.
Yes. Or we could.
One out.
Let's go to Treehouse. We'll go to Treehouse.
Yeah.
Speaking of Treehouse, hold on. Look at this. I brought a little. I know it's. What time is it?
That?
It's a Ninko bag.
Did you get that from Pottery Barn?
I don't know. This is. I mean, I'm married. Come on. You think I got this?
No, I think you did.
No, this is not. This is not my own personal bag. But let's see. We have a super treat by Treehouse.
It's 10:06 a.m.
It's 5:00 somewhere. I guess. Right?
Yeah.
It's okay. I worked out this morning and I only had 2 hours of sleep. Are they cold? Yeah, they're ice cold. Come on. Look at it. Instead of taking these out, I just put the whole thing in there. This is all the if your kids fall.
You just took everyone from the fridge.
Yeah, I took everyone. Just put it in the bag. And then after this, we can have a water if you want some water.
Yingling
Flight. It's like hydrating. All right, why not?
What do we got here?
Let's see. It's a super treat. Yeah, it's really good.
I don't think I've ever had this.
It's very tasty. It's a tasty beverage. We'll have to go to Treehouse. I know right now it's crazy. Let's see what this is all about. Well, I already know, but you know. Oh, that's super good.
That's good.
That is very good.
Tastes like orange.
It has a little bit of citrus in it. Super
Tangerine.
Treat is an Imperial IPA brewed at our house yeast and ridiculous doses of citrus-forward American hops. Purposely brewed to have a candy-like backbone and layer of intense hop flavors at your palate.
Pretty good.
Very good. You drink 3 of these, you're sleeping in the yard. Because, what is this? How many?
That's what I was looking.
I think it's, where the heck is it?
It's not on here.
It isn't. Well, have fun.
Yeah.
I think it's...
They don't put it on there for a reason?
I don't know. You might be in trouble. 9% maybe.
It's pretty hopsy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, back to talking.
We'll talk about the NFL, I guess. It's crazy what it looks like, though. I mean, you look at some of the standings and everything. I mean, you got a lot of good teams that are in there. There's some real teams that are obviously completely out, but you got some 1-4 teams I think that are pretty decent. Like, I think the Chargers are a good team.
Chargers are, they're a good team.
They could easily be like 4-2 right now. I mean, they should have.
Well, that's the thing
Bucs.
too. Like, if you put the Pats in a different division, like, it might be real tough to win. I mean, think about right now, the Jets are nothing.
Terrible. I mean, it's a bye.
The Bills. I'm not a believer in the Bills.
I'm not a believer in the Bills.
I'm not a believer. I feel like when the pressure's on, they fold. And then Miami is coming around. So I would say in the next 2 years, Miami could be really good.
I think Miami's going to be a good team. Yeah, well, I think it depends on Tua, though. Can Tua stay healthy?
Yeah, that's going to be huge.
Is that maybe part of it?
They just keep Fitzpatrick around.
They're looking around going, maybe this isn't our year anyway. Let's throw Tua in. Let's see if he can actually do something. If not, do we have to go draft another quarterback? Do we have to go find another quarterback?
Yeah.
I mean, is that maybe part of it? But
it's a toughness thing, too. B-Flow, look, when I came in 2009, he was the assistant special teams coordinator. And every morning I'd have to go in early and sit down with B-Flow in this little office right when you walked into the old facility. Well, it was a new facility, but they've since redone it. So you walk in, Bill's office was on the left. You always just kind of were like, oh, boy, please, I hope he doesn't want to.
Did you just not make eye contact with Bill?
No, there was a door, and there was an office there where Bears would sit, and he's like the assistant. And like Bears, like you kind of just wanted to like, because if you heard like, hey, Rob, you'd be like, oh, what?
Get cut.
Yeah, like what? If Bill wants to see it, you're like, why? Yeah, so it's pretty scary. So when you walk in, you just put your head down, straight through, no talking, no looking, and then you take a quick right, and then his office was there. It was this tiny office. It was B. Flo and Pat Graham, who's actually the DC in New York now, and they were in this like literally 5x5 office with
two of them?
Yeah, both of them.
Like desk, like touching?
Desk, no, it was like this. Desk. And they were in there for, I don't know, 12 hours a day, something crazy.
Yeah.
And I used to go in and we'd go over all situations and go over special teams situations. And he's a really good coach. So I think that Miami has got a good one there. And
I think he's probably of the coordinators that have gone out. I think he has the best chance to succeed.
This is the one thing too, like when guys that play, there's a difference between guys that played, and I know Bill didn't play in the NFL, didn't play at a high level, but there's a little bit of like I understand what you're going through. I know that this is really hard, and I'm going to try to give you the most information possible for you to be successful. Some coaches that have never made a tackle or never played at a high level, they'll be like, oh, just tackle him. Like, well, that guy's really good, and most people are missing him. So what do I need to do to make myself in the best position, put myself in a position to tackle him?
Yeah. And
I feel like B-Flow is a really good – he played at BC. So D1 that's big football to me.
Yeah.
If you can get to D1 level and start, you're respected. So, I mean, I respect all coaches, but I'm saying when you play at a high level like that –
is there a coach you didn't respect?
Yeah. Cam Cameron. He used to 07. He was the head coach in Miami. They were 1-15, and there were many, many times where I was active roster, never played ever, not one down. They're like 0-10. I would go in his office, be like, "Hey, coach, like, what do I need to do to try and get on the field?" And he'd be like, "Hey, well, we got the guys on the field we think are going to be best to compete." And I'm like,
that 1-15.
We haven't won a game. It doesn't matter. This is ridiculous. So that was really frustrating. I think that was really my eye-opening experience to the just crazy business, not fair, because there's guys that were playing that were terrible. Like they shouldn't have been on the field, but that's because of their contract or where they were drafted or who was, who liked them. They were going to play. So it was a bad experience, that 2007 year. My first 3 years really sucked. It was terrible.
Long snapper for most of them.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was my first year I blew my knee out, but I was a DN. So my first year I got drafted. I was the third DN So I played a lot. I got hurt in the Superdome opening game. So when the Saints opened the dome back up after Katrina, I blew my knee out.
Oh, okay.
So that was a great game for everybody except for me that's in the locker room. They're giving game balls out to everybody. I'm like, yeah, well, I blew my knee. And came back the next year, hurt myself again. Went to Miami. They didn't see me as a football player, so had to wait. Parcells came in. He saw me as an inside linebacker. I had never played inside linebacker. I'm like, well, geez, this is going to be rough. Moved me to inside. That didn't work out. Then I got released. Then went back to New Orleans. Sean Payton was like, nah, you're just a long snapper. I was like, I don't believe you. So then they cut me and I came here and then started 140 games. It's just like crazy how that works. But I think it's fate. And
a lot of it's got to be fake because, I mean, how many of those guys that were in your story, right, that never got
they never got a chance. They never got the chance. Well, honestly, I think the preseason kept me afloat. And the preseason, every preseason I ever played in, I had 3+ sacks. So when I was my rookie year, I had 3. Second year, I had like 3. Fourth, I mean, every year I had multiple sacks in the preseason, up until when I was here for a while, and then I didn't play in the last few games. But when the money and everything was on, and my career was on the line in the preseason, I went out there.
They gave you a little bit extra.
I always get kicked me out of practice because I'd always give it extra. But
yeah, well, I think I read a story. Didn't you hit like Tom Brady in practice?
No, I probably smacked him on the butt or something. I didn't hit him. That was a Twitter thing. I never hit Tom. I mean, I kind of believe when you say that because of how much of a love affair you have with him. So. I like Tom. And hey, how about Tommy boy? They look pretty good against them Packers. They didn't look so good.
But I mean, he looked good. But I mean, was it mostly because Aaron Rodgers looked awful?
It could be.
I mean, he was terrible.
Really good, by the way.
This beer is good, but Aaron Rodgers was terrible.
Yeah, he didn't look good.
I mean,
he didn't look good. But Tom, I think Tom's going to be all right. Good. Gronk did look good.
Yeah,
Gronk looked really good. One-handed catch, and then two, like another thing on that one touchdown catch that he had. Most guys, when they're coming this way, they go like this and they lose the ball.
Yeah.
So like they go like this, then you come like this, and the ball disappears for a second, then you miss it. He went like this and just turned all the way around and caught the ball. I think that's there's a baseball term for that. Somebody would know that. Circle turn or something. So it's a turn where you keep your eyes are on the ball the whole time.
Body.
Yeah, so you just move your whole body the opposite way so you don't lose the ball. But no, Gronk looks good. Happy for him that he looks good. Hopefully he can stay healthy. And because every time he gets hit, it just looks painful when he gets up. He's like, ugh.
But he
can't Gronk spike right now, though, because Bruce Arians gave it away that he's got a shoulder injury. I mean, who does that? I think Bill Belichick would be like,
that's why Bruce Arians is never going to win, though. I mean, that's why he wins games.
Yeah, Gronk spiked it with his left because his right shoulder separated, maybe a slight AC, maybe a slap tear.
Everybody else that's out there, just go target that shoulder.
Just hit his right shoulder. Come on, what are we doing with his top hats?
That's why he'll never win, though. That's why
so bad.
So
bad.
I'm still not buying into the Buccaneers being that great, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have a lot of weapons.
They're good.
I think they can be really good.
Yeah, they'll make the playoffs.
Like in that game, before that game, I had said if they don't have penalties, if they can win third down, they're going to be okay. And in that game, I think they had 0 penalties.
Yeah.
Which the game before that, they had 9 or 10.
They're the most
something.
penalized team in the NFL.
Yes.
Yeah. Even with no penalties in this last game.
Exactly. So I think is it time for let's take a little break.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about our picks. I think we tied on this particular last week.
It was a bad
but we
tie.
stunk it up.
It was bad.
All right, well, we'll be back.
All right, cool.
Yep. All right, we're back. The Dan and Ninko Show. Jimmy G or Cam Newton? What are you taking? Because at this point right now.
It's an easy. With this team, it's easy. It's Cam Newton.
What?
You don't have a playmaker. Who's the playmaker on the offense?
Cam Newton, I guess.
Jimmy G can't. If he can't do it with Kittle, Deebo Samuels, Emmanuel Sanders, is he going to do it with N'Keal Harry?
I feel like the team
Gunner,
would have looked different.
Ryan Izzo.
Well, he'd be throwing it to 11, and he'd be making the right decisions. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, but
that's a tough one. I would go with Jimmy G because when you look at the long term,
Bill would be excited with Jimmy G.
Bill would be because he knows like, hey, we can put in all this stuff and we could run an offense similar to Tom's offense. That's the biggest thing. When I watched the Pats play, it's just odd. It's just odd to not see like a quarterback go up to because in the last play here of the Broncos game, the last play, the all-out blitz, Tom would have said, easy, 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 bop, 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 bop. He would have pointed to him and said, hey, alert, 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 and said, hey, it takes two, or if this guy's coming,
Edelman would be running some in route.
And he'd run something, and the blitz is coming, you know what? Bang, first down. So, like, that's the one thing.
But
the guy
tough,
blitzed,
though, because
the safety was coming, and he just, and then he hit
tough,
the
though.
line.
Tom had 20 years in that offense, though.
Yeah, but it's hard to, because I don't know personally how Cam is, like, in the huddle, or, like, can he...
They say he's there all the time.
Is he
like,
audible?
You know,
like, can he say,
can
yo, like, let's change this whole thing up and just come up with the best play? Like, because at the end of the day, the quarterbacks, the best quarterbacks I ever played against, the Mannings, I never played against Brady, but, Drew Brees, Rodgers, like, those guys will say, check, check. And then they go to a play, and you're like, damn it.
Yeah.
Like, what is he going to? Like, what is he going to call? And then, boom, it's a big play. So, there's no huddle. So, like, the Pats don't go no huddle. They don't go hurry up.
They never do.
So that makes me wonder, because usually a no huddle, or like when there's no huddle going against the defense, the inside linebacker is like, hey, this is bop, 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 bop. No huddle for an offense. It's the quarterback calling out the play, calling out where everyone's going, calling out the routes, giving the signals. Like, have I seen him do like Tom used to do this. He used to do up a seam. Like, he used to give guys signals. I don't think Cam's given anyone a signal.
But he's practiced like 20% of the time, though, of
what
you would normally
if
practice at this
I
point.
was in my 5th week, I'd at least have a hot signal for somebody. Like, yo.
But he's not really in his 5th week, though.
I mean,
you have 4 preseason games missed. You have all the practices in preseason. They didn't practice in 2 weeks. I just don't know if it's really 100% on him. I mean, and they don't have any weapons. I mean, if Ryan Izzo's your tight end,
Gostkowski's in Tennessee undefeated right now, just nailing kicks.
Hey, Folk didn't miss a kick yet.
He didn't. But
I just like all the people though.
You
hear a lot of people? It's like, Cam screwed up. He took a sack at the 38 that put him out of field goal range. They weren't in field goal range at the 38-yard line.
Yeah.
Like, Folk can't hit a 50-yarder.
He hit a no good field goal.
Yeah, I mean,
wide left or right.
So who do you? The problem is the Patriots have to trade for somebody. They're
going to do that. But back to the original question. I think that the organization would have been in a better place with Jimmy G. That's what I think, because after this year, they're not going to give Cam a big contract. He's going to go somewhere else. Somebody else is going to give him the money. They're going to have to Stidham, or they're going to go with somebody or bring somebody else in. So with Jimmy G, at least there would have been some stability. And like, okay,
I think Jimmy G's going to be back next year. Like, I think he's going to get cut by the 49ers.
You think so? You think the 49ers?
You see the rumors out there now that they were close to signing Brady?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, Kyle Shanahan doesn't want Garoppolo in
there. I heard that Tom was going to sign with the Saints because Drew Brees was going to retire.
Yeah.
And when Drew heard that Tom was going to come with the weapons, he said, I'm coming back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then Tom had to go to Tampa. So
I think Tampa was I don't know if it's a good fit, because I don't think the coach is a good fit for him, but it has weapons and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think the coach is going to protect him the way
anytime
like
the
Sean
coach would be
Payton
like, that was just a terrible throw by Tom.
I know
that was a great call. He just
where he should have went though. He should have went to the Chargers.
See, yeah, but I don't like that fit. I don't like that fit either.
Or another one that people, I think he should have went to the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Yeah, you have a coach that's,
When you look at what Tom knows he has left in the tank, I think he wanted to go to a place that was just stacked.
Does he play any more past the 2-year contract?
No, I think he's done after 2 years.
I think that his only shot at winning a Super Bowl is this year.
100%.
I mean, I don't think there is next year.
I agree. Yeah. I agree on that statement, because
this is it.
He still can throw well. Like, some of his throws are still amazing. Like, I don't think he's lost any ability to throw the football at all. When he gets hit, when you look at the Bears game where he got hit a lot, that's when he's bad. And look, I would go back to like the 8 years I was here. Anytime Tom was hit a lot, like, we really didn't have success in that game. Yeah. But if he was protected and he could stand in the pocket, just like any quarterback, he'll pick you apart.
He's smarter than every quarterback.
Yes,
he knows where the routes are supposed to be. He knows what he's supposed to do. He is 100% smarter than any quarterback. He is the greatest quarterback of all time. Don't get me wrong.
100%.
But
if you go, Cam Newton, Jimmy G, you're going Cam Newton.
with the way this offense is set up, 100%. Greg Kittle's probably the best tight end in the NFL.
You're a more successful businessman than me, so
yeah, no.
I would say that you're probably maybe.
But Kittle is the best tight end in the NFL.
He is good, yeah.
Well, Deebo Samuel is up there.
Is Bill like going out of his way?
He loves that.
Is Bill going out of his way?
Kittle's a free agent after this year, isn't he?
No, he just signed a huge deal.
Does he?
Yeah, he just signed a big deal. But I'm saying, like, I feel like Bill is kind of, are those little like jabs in the back to the guys that have been here and been really good, like the praise on Cam, like no one works harder than Cam, and then Kittle, like of all the players, he's up there with the players I've ever coached. Tough. He's one of the best.
That's tough.
All the players that I've coached against and coached with.
Because you have to say during their runs, right? Brady's the best quarterback ever, and Gronk's the best tight end ever.
Yeah. 1,000%.
I mean,
he's a freak.
If you take in their prime, if Gronk versus like Kittle,
he didn't
or
blow his knee out, or blow his back out, or blow his arm out like 6 times. He blew his arm out. He's like, I broke my arm, picking his heart to get the infection out, which is nuts. Nobody knows about all these things that like guys got to go through. But
no, he is the greatest tight end ever.
He's a freak.
Like and
I probably won't live as long because I had to go against him. That dude would just smash me in the head.
That's where you got all these CTE from?
In our first couple of years, we were just killing each other. And I said, I went up to Rob in the locker room, like, Rob, I'm going to be on this team. You're going to be on this team. When we go into training camp, let's brother-in-law this thing. Let's do it. He's like, I'm down. So we'd like go out there. I said, let's make it look good. Let's put on a good show, but let's keep the heads out.
So you were afraid of him?
No, I could hit the shit out of Gronk, but it hurts me and just as much as it hurts him.
Yeah.
Because I got to hat and hands him. So he was like, yeah, because every time I hit you, I got a massive headache. I'm like, yeah, so like let's not do that.
But with the Patriots now, though, why aren't they using the tight ends they drafted?
God, I don't know. Who are they?
Izzo's terrible.
I don't know.
Izzo had 3 catches finally, right, and a fumble.
Because
the fumble was
spoiled?
Awful.
Were they spoiled with what they had and just took it for granted?
But
like,
is Bill talking about though that Bill keeps saying like we didn't have enough practice, didn't have enough practice? Is he kind of like he's already said the rookies are at a major disadvantage?
Well,
which they are.
A rookie is at a disadvantage, or a young player is at a disadvantage. But I would also say that time practicing doesn't prevent you from fumbling like that. Like he's got to put the ball away. Put it away. Don't get
this
it knocked
is the equivalent
out.
Of putting Hoyer in the game.
It's like just
it's the same thing.
And they can't block either, so they're like a liability in the blocking side of the game. And then when you put them out there to catch the ball, they're like an intermediate. Like they give you 10 yards here or there.
But
that's it.
Everybody thinks wide receiver is the biggest need for the Patriots, right? It's tight end is the biggest need.
No, but in their offense previously with tight ends, they would use them a lot and very different.
That's what I mean.
Split Rob out, bring him back.
Even in the running game,
you flash like people don't like the wham blocks and like flashing across the line of scrimmage. Like that really separates a defense. And for everyone that wants to know what this is, if I was on the left side of the line of scrimmage, Rob would be off the ball on the backside and flash across and try to take my knees out.
Your ear hole?
Yeah, or just blow your brains out. And the ball would come right off of his ass straight up the field. So he was great at that.
But everybody wants to talk about the Browns, right? Like, we didn't get OBJ or Landry. I don't think
I
that's
like
it.
Landry. I like Landry.
I don't think either of them. I'd rather get Njoku.
I like Njoku. I think he'd be a good fit.
He fits well, athletic. He's kind of in that Gronk type build. I think the coaching staff could coach him up to be something good. They have to do something at tight end. I mean, wide receiver, yes.
Well, they have to do something, or they're going to just continue to.
They need a wide receiver, a tight end, and some type.
They need
of
a
pass
lot,
rush.
and it's week 6. So I mean, I think the defense can help them win some games here moving forward.
Yeah,
I love the Pats. They help me out in a lot of ways, and I'm a big fan, and I got a lot of friends on that team. But when I look at the AFC, I just don't know, like, can they beat Tennessee? Can they beat the Titans?
Well, here are the teams that are above them right now. You get Bills, Dolphins, Steelers, Ravens, Browns, Titans, Colts, Kansas City, and then the Raiders. They beat the Raiders already, though.
All right, so the Ravens, KC, Titans scare anybody because when you run the ball like they run the ball.
I'm scared of the Titans because if Henry goes off.
They can't stop the run.
But who can stop Henry, though?
Nobody. Nobody.
Henry's a free agent, isn't he?
No, he just signed a big deal.
I don't think he did.
He did. He just signed a nice big deal.
I don't think so.
Look it up. Look it up. Ninko knows.
We need a stat guy here, though.
Ninko knows. I'm telling you, I know all the contracts. Ask when we get Devin on.
Why do you look at it?
I look at all the SPO track. I know everyone's income. I know it all. Dev, you did pretty good.
4-year, $50 million extension. Oh yeah,
there you go. Bingo.
Smart move by the Titans.
Very smart. And I said they should do that. Smart by Ninko.
Yeah, when you have somebody like Henry though, where you can just hand him the ball and go. It's almost like
they lost Taylor Lewan though with an ACL. That's a big loss for him.
That's a big loss.
That dude's a big
Lewan's
dude.
a monster.
He is a monster. He's got hand tats.
Yeah,
you should get one right there.
What? Continue it?
Yeah.
I actually got to finish this.
Go right here. Say like, give me.
Do you have any tattoos?
Give me your money. I don't have.
Are you the only NFL player that doesn't?
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, I was.
You afraid of it?
Long time ago.
Are you afraid of needles? Because you seem to get a little
worried.
I
don't like needles, but I would get a tattoo. But like, you ever see? Who's ever put a bumper sticker on a Ferrari? Because you know what I'm saying? When you're this good looking, you don't want to mess it up with a tattoo. You don't want to mess it up. No, a funny story. When I was 18, 19, like all my buddies would go to the tattoo shop, and I would like look through all these things, and I'd be flipping through. I'm like, what the hell? And then my buddy'd be over there getting a tribal on his arm, and I'd look at it, and you kind of know me by now. Like I'm a little bit crazy.
Yeah, you probably walk out.
No,
the line's not
the
fully
line
straight.
Isn't perfect. I'm like, the line's not perfect. He's like, oh, this looks awesome. I'm like, no.
Did you like pull your ruler out?
No, like if I was gonna have a tattoo, it would have to be so perfect and so precise.
You'd pay like $50,000
it'd have to look.
Somebody.
Oh yeah, I'd have to go to like whoever the best tattoo artist is in the whole world.
I forgot about that actually.
That could make that thing look perfect. Because if there was a line off and it was on my arm for the rest of my life,
right?
Even
the perfect ones, like lines are a little bit off.
I couldn't do it.
It's drawing.
I know.
It's on your skin.
I couldn't do it. That's why I don't have any, because I know for a fact that when I was at Purdue, they had like these tickets they were giving away, like free tattoos, because whoever was like a new tattoo artist was probably like, oh, let's give away tattoos for free, and these stupid football players will get one. One of my teammates got
half the line is half
one of my teammates
there.
got a cross. Like he didn't get like a little tattoo, like a small one somewhere. He got a cross the size of his back, and when he showed it to me, I go, "Oh my goodness!" In my head, I'm like, "This thing's crooked." It was, dude. The left side was here, the right side was here, and I'm like, dude, that's on you for the rest of your life. That's on you for the rest of your life. Or some guys have like portraits.
I could really see that though from you. Holy crap!
Some people have portraits, and I'm like, "Who's that?" And they're like, "Oh, it's my grandma." I'm like, it looks like an alien, or like doesn't look human. It's like I didn't say that, but I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. Or we had somebody had like a sail, like a ship, and it said like hold steady. I'm like, what the hell? Hold steady. Okay, like you got that on. You're gonna be 90 with a hold steady on your arm.
Tattoos are good. Got a bunch.
I think they're cool, but they have to look perfect.
It's impossible.
They have to.
I've
seen some good ones though.
How can you buy a classic car?
They're
not
fickle.
straight.
Most of mine are pretty damn straight.
Nothing is.
I know nothing is, but for what I own,
I'll never forget the day I saw one of your cars and you dropped the emblem of the car.
I was
and
so
there was
angry.
like a little nick, like basically on like the underside of it.
I
and
was
you were
really
like,
upset.
I gotta sell the car.
I was really upset on that one.
Like,
it's still in my garage
like
too. I won't
piece.
put that. I talked to the guy that did it. I'm like, I dropped the emblem. You're gonna have to fix this like ASAP. But it's probably a bad thing to be as crazy as I am. I am a little crazy, a little bit, but you have to be.
I do think one of the adventures though, we have to go to like Meekum or Barrett Jackson.
Oh, that would be good.
I think you would go nuts though. I think you would.
I know,
I told you
buy
the other day.
too
I think
many
your
cars.
over under is like 3 cars you'd buy, and I think I'll take the over.
So I have an issue with the wife. She's like, "Why are you buying this?" I'm like, "Because I think it's." When I look at an old classic car, it's hard for me to pass it up because I'm like, they don't make this. Like you can't get in this ever again. It's never gonna be here like this.
And they're dwindling.
And
down,
they're dwindling,
down.
and like an old truck or like my '79 Ford. When I saw that thing, I was like, dude, most of these. You don't see a 79 F-150 that's not rotten.
Yeah.
Just gone, like rust, salt everywhere.
Really see like 2010 F-150. It's not
it's terrible. Yeah. So for me, it's like when I see those things, they're like jewels. And I keep like that thing doesn't get in the water. It doesn't get wet. I don't wash it with water. And I'm crazy. The 65 Vet that I have is I don't hit that with water. It doesn't go in the rain. I went to go see my buddy, and I had to go drive it like 45 minutes away. On the way back, started freaking, I wasn't in the rain, but like I could see where the clouds were and the rain had come. So I was driving.
Pull over, get like a covered trailer to grab it.
Yeah, I was driving and it was soaking wet, and I was just listening to like the tires like spraying up the spray, and I'm just like, my car's getting wet. So I
had to sell it now.
The second I got back, I was like, what? I washed it, wiped it down, and I don't use water. I spray it with a little bit of alcohol, and then I wipe it because it's ceramic coated. So it's all good.
That's all you have to do.
I'm a little crazy. I'm crazy.
When you got the
guys
little
that
dent
play
on
with
the
me, they're
Hellcat?
like, Ninko's nuts. Well, the Hellcat, I picked it up with the trailer, Red Eye Hellcat wide body from Dan O'Brien, great car. Picked it up in the trailer, wouldn't drive it until I got it expelled.
Yep.
Because I'm not going to get a chip on the fender flares. Had to get everything done, then I could drive it. But I still need to get there's like, you can buy these aftermarket things that go on the fender flares on the fronts. Because I was looking at it yesterday on the lift, and there's a couple little specks in the expel. But I know it gives me reassurance that I know I can just peel that off and put new expel on, and I'm good.
Yeah. Remember we got the little dent in it, though?
Oh, yeah, all those dents came out.
Yeah. You text me and said, I have to sell the car now. I can't do it.
I'm looking at a 97 F350 with a 7.3 in it right now.
It's one of the best motors ever built.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful truck. I have to go look at it Sunday. The guy wants $20,000 for it. I don't know. Seems kind of high.
The tough thing with it, the motor is worth a ton of money. I know. Like, forget the truck, forget everything. Yeah. Some of you guys, you have to look at your stuff. Motors or transmissions could be worth a huge amount of money, and you could have a crap car, but it's worth a lot of money. So it's like excursions are like a big thing.
Excursions are sweet with the 7.3 in it.
Yeah,
because I think they stopped making them in 2003 was the last, and they went to a 6.0.
Yeah, it was either 02 or 03.
03. I know 03 because my buddy has an 03. When I was home this summer, I borrowed his 2003 with like 400,000 miles on it.
And the car runs
rotted. I mean, the whole truck was rot. Motor still like runs like a top.
Yeah.
So that was a 03. 04 was the 6.0, and they screwed everything up trying to be cute and get rid of the 7.3, which I don't get why they did that. Maybe emissions or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so every manufacturer now, every year with the new laws, basically, their miles per gallon has to get better every year.
Yeah.
So you're phasing out cars. So like Toyota got rid of like FJ Cruiser, Lane Cruiser, stuff like that, because your average miles per gallon has to be a certain amount, or you have to pay like a penalty to the government. That's why like you see like companies build like these random EVs, and they don't really sell them.
Like the Chevy Volt. Like they built who's bought a Chevy Volt? I've never seen one on the road.
Yeah, but they do that
so it extends it. Yeah, it brings they're Suburbans.
So they know they lose money when they do them.
Yeah, but they're going to make money with the trucks.
Kind of like we talked about last week with the governor of California putting in the thing that all the EVs have to be. The thing is, though, how are you going to be able to put that much power into a state?
You can't
charge them.
No, this is another thing. We'll talk about power. We're going to talk about power. We're going to talk about power, electric cars. I want people to ask these questions. Where does the lithium come from? Yeah. Where does it come from? Comes from the earth. They mine it from the earth, just like they do everything else. Yeah. And batteries, when you take a battery and you have it in your cell phone and you throw this thing, they say don't throw these away. They say they recycle them, turn them back in so they could take all the crap out of them, because if it goes into the earth, it's dangerous to the earth. So imagine every single car that's driving in the world right now has a battery in it, and it's sitting in a junkyard, just like many junkyards. You see the massive acres of yards and yards of freaking cars stacked on each other, full of battery juice or full of batteries. Where does that go? Does it go in the groundwater? Does the power, when we plug it in to power it up, does that power come from natural gas, coal?
Well, the only way to put that much power out is you need coal plants and nuclear plants.
Exactly.
That's the only way.
So nuclear, what do we create with nuclear?
Yeah.
Nuclear waste. Where does the nuclear waste go? In massive caves down in the earth. Yeah. What happens in 100 years when we're long gone and dusty? Yeah. In the groundwater. So guess what? I don't know. I don't know what to do, but
hydrogen.
Water.
Hydrogen.
What are we going to have an issue with? Water.
Yeah.
So let's use it.
Yeah. That's the big thing is people don't get, like, I think I sent you the video yesterday about the new 1,000 horsepower Hummer that's coming out, the fully EV.
I saw
Hummer.
that. Yeah.
Pretty cool car, but
It's
you
cool.
asked me where the batteries are.
No, I said where the batteries.
It's literally the entire bottom of the car.
So that's the thing. Like, I just don't get and it's 350. I know that they're going to have to come up with a different way to charge them.
Yeah,
because it's 350 miles. Like 350 miles. That's me going. Like if I wanted to go see my folks, when I was at Tesla, I plugged in to go to Chicago and back. It would take me like 4 days or something.
Yeah,
like
because you got to stop, charge.
It's not like you're at a hotel. You're like, oh, let me stop and charge up. And in California for Thanksgiving last year, they had 3-hour wait lines to get your car charged.
Yeah.
So you're going to go to these charging stations. They're going to be too many people.
Well, that's the thing. The infrastructure is not there.
It's not there.
Even California, where they
maybe that's Ninko's new business plan. I'm going to start an infrastructure for electric powered cars.
Where do you get the power from? Coal?
Wind.
No, it can't be that.
We go up in New Hampshire. There's a lot of wind.
There's a lot of wind, but
speaking of New Hampshire, might be up there pretty soon. Mom's dealership in New Hampshire. They have one, and just went up and got a snowmobile. What's over under? How many times have I used that snowmobile this year?
2.
2 times?
Yeah, I'm taking the under.
Well, if I get a dog, it's 0. If I get a puppy, which I was supposed to get a puppy, we'll see if my boss lets me.
You put a deposit though, right?
I put the deposit on. Yeah, Goldiva Goldens, they're great. I got a beautiful Golden. It's beautiful coming.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know, but I got the snowmobile. I was going to go up to New Hampshire a lot. Berlin, New Hampshire. I was going to go up there. I was going to go snowmobiling. Yeah, it's 3 hours. It's not bad.
It's 3 hours.
It's right by the notch.
I live in New Hampshire, and it's like I don't want to go to Berlin.
We're going to have to now.
Why?
Because I'm going to be up there this summer. Winter. Sorry.
No, you're not.
I think so.
You go up once.
I might go up more than that. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. You want a water?
The water beer?
This is the Yingling Flight.
Yeah, I'll take that.
There you go. And we are drinking responsibly.
Yeah. It's early.
And we're going to
plenty of time to burn it off.
We're going to have lunch. These are actually, when you drink this...
This is water, though.
It is water.
Wow.
It's pretty good, though, for a light beer. It's only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. So last night...
It's like my Poland Springs right next to it.
All right, so I'll just give you a life story. Last night, I know we're just kind of going off on a tangent here.
Yeah, but I think that's good.
So last night, my wife is like, "Oh, I'm gonna go out. She's gonna go to eat with her friend." I'm like, "Okay, go ahead. I got the kids. Got them good. Everything's great." So we get I cooked dinner, made pasta, made a nice dinner, had fed the kids, cleaned the kitchen. Everything was clean, put away. Kids were fine, playing in the family room, and we have a 1-year-old, and he's with the kids, and we built a little fort for him so they could all play in there. And I heard like a thud, and then he started crying. I'm like, oh shit, what happened?
That's like a worst nightmare.
Yeah,
for
I was
husband,
like,
by the way.
I was like, all right, yeah. So I'm watching
like
the
worst
kids.
Nightmare.
I'm watching the kids, and he falls, and I'm like, damn it, because I didn't see it because I was cleaning the kitchen. The kids didn't see it. They were like looking at the TV. So I'm like, what happened? They're like, we don't know. So he's crying. I pick him up, console him. I see a little red mark on him. I'm like, all right, well, he hit his head on something, And I'm like, do I call Paige? Do I text her?
Did you call?
No. It's 6:30.
Like,
it's 6.
No.
So it's 6:30. I'm like, I shouldn't call her. I shouldn't text her because if I do that, then I'm failing and it's an issue like that's not good. So I was like, all right, well, she's gonna be back at like 8. Put some ice on, put some peas on it. It'll be fine. Hopefully the little red mark will go away. Well, it didn't go away. So I'm like, all right, well, if she's going to come in and sees he's got a little spot on his head, like she's going to ask me like what's going on. So I text her like, yo, everything's great. Wyatt took a little spill, hit his head, and she's like, well, how far did he fall? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't see it, but I know it's not like he hit the carpet. Like, I think he's okay. He's acting fine. He's eating. Everything's fine. Like, there's no big deal. So she texts a doctor, and the doctor's like, well, just evaluate, make sure he doesn't start throwing up. And if he's acting strange, take him to the hospital. So, like, she gets home, and she doesn't see that I cleaned the kitchen up. I did everything. I tried to put
Did you do more, like, after that?
I tried to do everything. And then, like, my my daughter was like, I thought she did her homework. I thought she did.
Oh boy!
She was at the island and she was doing doing her.
You didn't check it?
I didn't check it.
Oh boy!
So I failed. It was a failure. Yes, last night actually, but everyone's okay. He's fine. I didn't sleep much because I was checking on him a lot last night, but we're good.
Yeah, no. I told you earlier. I said, it's my kids are older. My daughter is turning 12 tomorrow.
12.
Yeah, and so, this year has been like
12.
Ever since school started.
Do you think 12 is harder or 13 is harder? Because teen is like a
people
teenager.
Say it's 13, but it's 12 because like everything changes. Like it used to be I'd come home and she'd like run up to you and give you a hug and kiss. And like the last like few days, I said to my wife the other day, I'm like, I come home and I don't even know where she is.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
it's gonna be tough for me too.
Oh yeah, I'm like, oh, this is not going well. And then my wife freaks out too because I'm like, hey, by the way, do you notice that her birthday is tomorrow? I'm like, it's going to be the last year we don't have a teenager in the house. And she's like, don't ever say that again.
That's crazy.
I'm like, what? What did I say? What's wrong? It's teenage girls that everybody's worried about. But I'm more worried about 12 years old. Like 12 years old, I think, is where it kind of starts going down.
I see that. Like, girls, for some reason, just have you in the palm of their hand no matter what. So, for me, with two boys, I'm like,
yeah.
Wyatt falls down. I'm like, you're fine. Get up. No problem. You're all right.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, when the girl falls, you're like, are you okay? Like,
yeah.
Are you okay,
rush
honey?
over.
Yeah, like you're all right. Give her a hug. Console her. So it's just a different, for dads, it's just a different thing. With your little girl. So like for me, I think the hardest part is watching her just kind of like become more mature. And I mean, honestly, at 7, I feel like she's more mature than I. Like she's just like she reminds me of things like, Dad, remember this?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Dad White fell.
I played too long. I played football too long. Like, thank you for that. But it's just crazy. Like girls are way more organized.
Yeah.
Like details, everything. My boys, I'm like, get that rock out of your mouth. Like, come on, what are you doing? It's like boys are just nuts.
Yeah, I get back to the fact. I'm like, I tell my wife all the time. I'm like, I'm accepting the fact that like the next 6 years are going to be really difficult.
Yeah.
But then I think they say
from what I hear when I talk to some I talk to older my friends that are older that have kids that are older. It's like that window there is tough, and then they come back. Yeah.
At least your girls are going to be there like later on for you.
Yeah. The boys are just like, screw Dad. Put him in the home. He's like, Dad doesn't remember us anyway. Screw him.
That's what I tell him.
Let's get in his truck. Let's drive that thing in the rain. Let's go.
Yeah. My wife doesn't like the fact that I say to my kids all the time, I'm like, listen, I changed your diapers when you were babies, so you're going to change my diapers when I'm older. And she doesn't like that, but no. I mean, I think that's a fair statement. I said to him, I'm like, don't put me in a home.
No, I feel like
get me a room in your house.
I tell my dad all the time. I'm like, Dad, anything goes down, I'll put you a real nice spot. You'll have a nice view. Yeah. You'll be great. They'll change you often. Like, you'll be all right. My dad's nuts though. My dad, we call him Captain Insano, Captain Mike.
Is that where you get it from?
What's that?
Is that where you get it from?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm a little bit particular, and my dad's but my dad's worse. Like if you met my dad, you'd love him. He's a freaking blast. He's a comedian.
You have to get him on the show.
We get him on the show, but we need to censor him because
because you swear every show. We have an explicit rating on iTunes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I swear.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh,
come on, Ninko.
It's just another one. It's just an S word.
It's another one.
I thought on a pod you could say whatever you want.
Yeah, but I think the beer now is going to make it. You can't have like a commercial where somebody drinks beer or anything like that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think we're just.
I feel like we're
just screwed here.
We can do whatever we want.
I should say a different word, but
yeah,
I'll try to keep it.
Well, if this was like, I don't know because he went to Hulu, or is it Hulu or is it Joe Rogan? He used to say some crazy. He
still is on Spotify.
But I think the Spotify they censored him a little bit.
Well, I think the employees threatened to walk out.
Yeah.
If they didn't censor him,
which is nuts because that's the reason it's the way it is.
He's like the number one on Spotify.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's the reason.
Yeah.
Because he's just whatever. Like, think about like
Howard Stern was like
when you're like out with your friends and you're talking. Like,
yeah.
I'm not censoring the way I'm talking.
No.
I just say what I want.
No. Yeah.
Sorry, just burped. couple beers.
If I talk to my managers and stuff like that, it's F-bomb.
Well, here's the difference. Like, there's a difference, like, with football and, like, the real world or anywhere else. Football, a coach can say, "You stupid, dumb, ba ba ba, ba," like, and you're just sitting there and you're like, "Yes, I'm stupid." You can't say anything back because if you talk back, they're gonna cut you or they're gonna do whatever. They can do whatever they want to you.
Actually, that makes a little bit of sense now. I think you're getting at is that, if you did that in the real world in the business, right, you'd be sued.
You'd be sued. In football, you sit there and someone says, "Hey, Rob, are you a stupid? Are you dumb? Are your parents like did they? You should have been." I've heard some crazy stuff.
Yeah. Who was the craziest one? Greg Williams.
No, Greg was more so like hurting other people.
Go on, kill him.
Yeah. The tear his ACL. I'm like, what? Tear his ACL? Like, that's his livelihood. I mean, I think some of my coach, like I had a coach in high school, I won't say his name, but he used to say stuff to people that I was like, like he'd say like, your parents made a mistake, like by having
birth control should be created.
Yeah, like you were an accident and that's why you suck so bad. It's like I'm sitting there, I'm like, and you're a high school teacher, like never played.
You're still the science teacher.
Like you're a high school teacher and you're saying this to a kid. Like that stuff sticks in my mind because I hope. And that's the one thing, like with my kids, if my boys want to play, great. But I've seen so much screwed up crap that it's like it doesn't.
So would you let them play?
I would let them play.
Would your wife let them play?
She would let them play if they wanted to play.
Yeah, you wouldn't force it though.
I think Everett, my son, is like, I don't know if he even has interest in any of that. But my smallest is like, he's one in a meathead already. All he talks about is football. He looks at my bobblehead and says, "Dad, football." Like, he throws the football every day. Like, hits his head every day. I'm like, dude, you're gonna be a football player. But my other one might be a dancer. I don't know. We'll see. Whatever.
It's fine either way.
My whole thing is that's it. I just want my boys to be happy.
Yeah.
I don't want to force them. When I was in high school, I used to have these dads out there. My dad just said, "Hey, just don't quit." So I never quit.
Yeah.
But I'd see these dads out there and their sons like running them and taking them to these speed camps and doing all these like crazy things. I never went to a football camp. I never went to a speed camp. I never did anything. I just played football and learned. Yeah. Like that was it. And then I just slowly got better and better and went to the NFL, like whatever. Nowadays, people are trying to push their kids so hard. It's like, well, what if they go the other way? Because I've seen it where the kids are like, they're drinking, doing other stuff. It's like,
but I think
because they feel the stress of that.
It's like two levels of it. I help coach my daughter's softball team, and I think it's either that, like that end, like like you have to be great, you have to be this, you have to be that, or it's just don't worry about it, don't worry about it.
So for me, I'm definitely, because I was a professional athlete, I'm on the side of I've seen the professional world and like the just how dirty it can be. Yeah. So when I look at my kids, I just want them to be happy. If they play sports, great. Don't quit. Just like my dad would say, look, if you're going to start it, finish it. Don't quit. But I don't want to force feed them because realistically, his dad played football in the NFL. His dad has 2 Super Bowl rings. Well, he should be a certain way. And people, kids would probably try and test my sons, like try and do certain things to him. It's not fair. So, because for me, I didn't have to live up to anything. I just was having fun, But when you have a history and people know, if I continue to live here and I'm here in 10 years and my sons play high school football, like, better believe there's going to be some kid like, his dad played for the Pats.
Yeah, he's here because of that.
Yeah, like let me
imagine if you were Peyton Manning's nephew now.
That dude's good though.
Yeah, but you see that like in high school, he's got like
he's
national
got
television and all that because
crazy.
Archie, Eli, and Peyton.
But that's
imagine
the
living
thing,
up to that though.
That's bad. So one time I was talking to Chris Long, and me and him were locker mates. We're good friends still. And I said, "Yeah, when I got here, they gave me 50." I said, "It's tough, like I gotta live up to a big name and like a lot of production. I gotta do well." And he's like, "Yeah, well, my dad's Howie Long." I was like, "Yeah, you got me."
Yeah.
He's like, "My whole life, everyone is just Howie this, Howie that, Chris. I mean, he still made $100 million, but he's a second overall pick back before in the old CBA. Like he made like $72 million. I forgot about
that.
He made like 70.
He was right before the CBA.
He was, right? So like 2000. Yeah. So I was.
Well, you can negotiate every contract.
He was 08, second overall pick. Or was he first overall pick? I think he was.
He may have been.
I think he was first or second.
He may have been
So I think his first deal was like
wasn't
72.
both the Suns first round picks? I mean, number one picks.
Yes, not number. I think. So
they were first rounders.
Chris was like, I'm talking like top 2. I want to say top 2. Look it up. See if you can see it. But anyway, back before that CBA, the new CBA, where guys aren't making what they were.
One was 08, right?
2008. Yeah, 2008.
We really need a stat guy.
Yeah, where are they at?
I know.
We'll edit.
We have to get more subscribers to get it.
Yeah, we'll work our way
Jake Long was number 1. Chris Long was number 2 that year.
Yeah. So Chris,
I
think like I don't know, 70 million. Just like, hey, 70 million, and then he signed another deal after that. So
he retired a while ago, though. Jake didn't he?
Jake retired, a while ago because he had a bunch of injuries. I played with Jake because he was drafted.
His first contract was 5 years, 57.75. You know, wait.
Wow, that ain't bad.
It was 09, I think, right, when they went to the structured?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
That ain't bad for a young kid, and you get re-upped again.
Yeah, $57 million guaranteed. I mean, because...
you know how many cars I'd have if I... I'd have a lot more.
I think you did okay.
I'm not complaining. I worked my ass off.
Yeah, no.
But everyone asks, like, hey, like, what, you like buying all these cars? I'm like, look, I'm not guaranteed 55, 65. Like, if I can take care of my kids and enjoy what I have and enjoy my life. And
what's Patrick Mahomes do now? $500 million?
What does he love? I don't know. Like, I think it, like, if you're
part of the Royals.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. That's generational. You know, 500 million's generational, but I think, like, another thing with football, too, is, like, you have to look at your positioning. Like, for me, it's like, all right, I play football. Hey, C. Long just text me. What'd he say? That's so weird.
Did he hear you?
I don't know. Is this live?
You get him on the show now.
Is this live? Just think, like, football. He just texted me a picture of his backyard. What does that look like? It looks like an estate. Look at this. Oh, my goodness. Well, he's in Virginia. It's very nice.
Yeah, you can do
it's
that.
A very nice backyard.
That's actually pretty
it's
nice.
It's a very nice backyard if you can see that backyard. But I'm going to say, wow.
Must have been talking,
We talk all the time.
I know, but it's kind of weird. We literally went into a Chris Long segment for the first time in 5 shows.
I know. But I'm saying, like, as a linebacker for me, like, I just looked at the risk and the reward. Like,
his career earnings were $92 million.
Cut that in half to taxes because you got to pay Uncle Sam half.
And then agent?
No, I say 38.
Oh, okay.
Federal, 6 wherever. Like here it's 6.5.
That's what I wish I did. I wish I was an NFL agent or just
so it's 3%. Well, I'm sure he paid 2. So add that up. Add that up, everyone. If you're like, oh, they made $100 million.
Yeah.
Or $20 million. So it's like half.
Half,
38 goes. Yeah, it's half. You make half. So if you make 25, you make half.
Still
of that.
though.
50, you make half. But
still $46 million though. Is,
yeah.
Plenty.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Just live off the dividends.
Is that what you're doing?
I'm working, baby. I'm working. See me on ESPN. Look at me, Mom. I'm on TV.
I know you go down to ESPN every Sunday.
On Sunday, I'll be there. Well, I'll work Fridays. I'll be there. I'll be working from home on Friday, and then I'll be there on Sunday.
How many times you got to do on Friday?
Just early in the morning. I'll do like Get Up, First Take, Sports Center. I'm usually done.
Is it live?
Midday. Yeah, live from the basement.
But if there wasn't COVID, you would be going in there Friday, going in there Sunday.
Yes. Yeah. If they didn't have this craziness going on, I'd be usually 2 days in a row, back to back.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if I had 90 something, I don't know. I'd buy a dealership.
You'd be just hanging out.
Are we doing picks this week?
I think we need to do picks.
All right, let's do that. We're going to take a break because that was a long segment, and we'll be back.
Yeah.
All right, so we're back. Picks. We're going to do picks. Last week we had 6 losses. Both. We sucked.
It was terrible.
Terrible. So let's go.
They were hard games, though.
They were tough, and then there were some like weird games. It's just a weird.
Patriots
it's weird.
Won.
It's a weird year.
I lost a lot of money to the Patriots, by the way. A lot of money.
All right, let's not talk about it.
Yeah,
we'll make it. Money. We'll make it back.
Stupid. Thursday night, Giants Eagles. God.
Giants.
Was that just?
I gotta go with Joe Judge. I gotta go with my old coach, Joe Judge.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles on this one.
All right. I'm going Giants. Danny Dimes.
It's another one.
Dimes.
Lions Falcons.
Falcons. No, I'm going. I'm going Lions. Matty P. Lions.
You know what? I'm going to take the Falcons in this one. They're playing a little bit better since they got rid of what's his name, and they're playing a little better. All right, got an easy one. Browns Bengals.
I'm going Bengals.
Browns. What?
Bengals.
Whoa.
Bengals. Let's go.
Right.
I just don't like the Browns.
I'm going to go. This is a tough. I'm going Browns, but this is a tough one. Steelers Titans. That's a tough one.
Man.
Steelers favored by 2 right now.
Oh my goodness.
That's a tough game.
I'm going Titans.
Vrabel. Is that what you're doing?
Yep, 50. Let's go, baby.
This is actually a really
What's
tough
the
game.
number
like,
on that?
This is
the
like
number
a coin
you put on that? I know.
It's a coin. It's a 2-point spread.
Yeah.
I'll take the Steelers just so we have some opposites.
Okay.
All right, and then Panthers Saints.
Saints.
Bills Jets.
Bills.
Cowboys football team.
Cowboys. Who's the football team? They don't even have a quarterback.
They said they're going to keep the name of the 2021 right now.
That's so stupid.
I'm going to go Cowboys.
I would never pick the football team just on the name.
Packers Texans.
Packers.
Yeah, I'm going to go Packers. Seahawks Cardinals. That's going to be a good game.
I know. I'm going Seahawks just because of Russell.
I'm going to go Cardinals. I think it's going to be the first Seahawks loss.
Okay.
Chiefs Broncos. That is a tough game, though.
That's a tough game.
Because, people are upset that the Patriots lost to the Broncos.
Yeah.
I agree they should have won the game.
Like the Broncos,
but the Broncos
defense
have a good defense.
The defense
they look good.
So Kansas City, they could potentially suck.
The Chiefs haven't played well against the Chargers defense.
A good defense.
The Patriots defense.
Yeah.
They have not played well against.
I know. I'm going KC.
I'm going KC, too. Shit. Jaguars Chargers.
Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers. I don't believe in them.
Yep.
All right. The Revenge of Chucky. Buccaneers, Raiders.
Buccaneers. I think I picked against them last week, didn't I? I picked the Packers.
You picked the Packers. We talked about the Packers might be the best team in the NFC.
I know. I'm going to go Bucks. I'm going Bucks now. I'm back on the Tom train.
I think the game's going to be closer than people think, but I think that Carr will turn the ball over a bunch, so I'm going to go Buccaneers.
Yep.
Monday night, you got Bears-Rams.
The Bears.
Really? You haven't picked them in a couple weeks now.
I'm going Bears on this one. Did you hear Nick Foles talking after the game? Was
No.
he high or was he CTE'd?
Every time I hear Nick Foles,
he's like, we put on some Meek Mill and I was just feeling really good. And
I just think of Napoleon Dynamite the minute I see him. Don't you?
He was talking crazy. It's
every time I see him, I just think of Shocks, Pegs, Lucky.
Oh, did you take that on Sweet Jumps?
I'll go Bears, too. Their defense is good. And then we got 49ers, Patriots, a must-win.
I got to go Pats. They cannot go 2-4. I'm going Pats. The Patriots don't lose back-to-back games.
I think the Patriots are the best to handle the big tight ends.
And
they have
lost.
The right guys.
They lost Mozart, or I think they're running back.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they lost him, and then I think the Patriots are going to actually practice this week. I think that'll be a good thing.
That's good. That's a must thing.
So that'll be a big thing. I haven't seen any positive cases or anything as of this morning. I've checked a couple times, and I'll check again right now. No positive cases. Before we go, who should the Patriots trade for? Who's the number one target you think they should go after?
Ooh.
That's not Landry, because they ain't going to trade Landry.
No, it's not. Didn't you say Julio? Did you say Julio in the past?
Yeah, I've said Julio in the past.
It's not going to happen.
I just.
What about AJ Green? No, does he have anything left in the tank?
I think AJ Green has something left in the tank.
What about a tight end though? Who's a big time?
I'm thinking either Evan Ingram or Njoku.
Njoku. I like the Njoku because he's upset. He wants to leave.
What's he? 3 years in the league. He still has a decent contract.
They're gonna have another receiver. They're gonna have another weapon offensively.
I think as a receiver though, they're gonna add like a Golden Tate,
Metcalf,
or
they could have
had Metcalf.
I know.
I hate that though, that people like second guess that. Look, they could have DJ Metcalf.
Yeah,
it's okay, how many people have flamed out that have been a number one pick? I mean, I got when they drafted N'Keal Harry, had good hands, size, all that. I still think N'Keal Harry can be good.
How about Robinson? Oh, I don't think the Bears.
They're not going to trade him because they're 5-1. I know. I would love.
You got to go for a shitty team.
You got to look at
what's a crappy team?
Like Golden Tate out of the Giants.
He's too old.
Marvin Jones out of Detroit. AJ Green.
Oh, you know who I think would be a good fit if he's healthy is Jeffrey from the Eagles.
Oh, Alshon Jeffries.
Yes. Jeffries.
I was actually at the game that Alshon Jeffries.
Dude, he's a freak.
Yeah, I was at the game that Jeffries and Alfonso Denard went at each other in Orlando.
Ooh.
I was like right there when that happened.
I think that could be an under the radar, like if he was healthy, motivated.
What about Zach Ertz?
I got him on fantasy. Let's bring Zach in. Let's go, Zach. Come on, baby.
But you don't agree that a tight end is that's the biggest need for them.
They need a receiver and a tight end.
That's what I mean.
Two guys.
Yeah, but
yeah,
you're getting
bring in
nothing.
Witten. Bring in old man Witten.
No, stop that. Stop that. I mean,
all right.
Evan Ingram would be good if Evan Ingram would stay healthy, and Njoku could be good.
Think about Julio, but that's not happening. AJ Green's not going to happen either.
AJ Green could. He's more than happening.
That could happen.
The problem with Julio is I think that Julio's going to take
the problem
like a
is
second
we beat
round
them
pick.
in the Super Bowl. So if I was the Falcons, I'd be like, I was going to do the finger. F you. Sorry, you can't take my best receiver because you beat me in the Super Bowl.
What about Will Fuller?
I like Fuller.
I think that'd be a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Easterby maybe traded.
That's a good one.
By the way, how is Easterby the GM of the Texans?
I don't know. He's not a football person. Like, I don't know how that happens. I don't know.
Did he get like with McNair, like they prayed together?
I have no idea. Maybe he said God will show you the correct path to success.
Like, that had you have that light for your
it's a light
for
like
your
maybe
thing.
there was a maybe
for Get Up you have a light
him,
that's just boom on
him. Touched him and he felt the presence and just said, "You're fired. You're hired."
A Texans' worst team in football?
No.
Worst ownership?
I don't know. Jets are pretty bad.
They're just going to trade Darnold. Darnold could get traded here.
Yeah, he should because they're trying to go for that number one pick.
But if you're the Patriots, do you trade like a late pick for Darnold?
Yeah, if you don't think Cam's the guy.
Or do you trade a late pick for like Haskins? Haskins will get traded.
Haskins. Nope.
You don't like him?
No thanks.
Who in the NFL would you see? Who would be a better quarterback right now that you could actually get than Cam Newton? And I'll let you throw Jimmy G on the table that you can go get him.
Actually get?
Yeah.
I would have loved to seen Matt Stafford, but I thought that was a possibility.
That was a possibility floated by a lot of writers and stuff like that.
Which would have been a great thing for the Pats because he's a great quarterback.
I agree with that.
But like young guy, man, that's
what about
tough.
Josh Rosen?
No, he ain't got it.
Why?
Because he's been in if you've been to 3 teams like that and you're a first round pick, you ain't got it. First round pick, you were
3 teams. You were like a 6th round pick, right?
Yeah, but that's not
but
first.
That's the same thing, though.
No, it ain't.
But you have the talent, though.
I was on 2 teams, by the way.
Well, you went to the third team.
I went to the third
He's
team.
only been on 2 teams, I think. He's been on the Dolphins and Arizona. Because he got cut by Arizona, and then he went right to the Dolphins.
Yeah, but then where'd he go? He's not on the Dolphins still, is he?
Yeah, he is.
I thought he got cut.
I think he's the 3rd-string quarterback, isn't he?
I don't think so.
Come on, you're the stat guy. You keep saying that.
I think they cut his ass.
Let's see. Josh Rosen.
Free agent.
Pulling up the Wikipedia. It says Josh Rosen, American quarterback. Oh, no. I'm wrong. He was on Tampa Bay.
Bang! See? Told you.
You said he was cut. He was like out of the
league. They cut him.
God, how is he not the backup quarterback to Blaine Gabbert?
I don't know. But anyway.
Right, I take that back then.
All right. Well, that does it for number 5. We had a couple beers. We had fun.
Yep.
Sorry for the swearing. I thought it was a good show.
I know you said shit like 3 times.
Yeah, that's fine.
Not according to Apple.
Oh, Sorry, Apple.
Yeah.
I'll say poop next time. You say poop? Just beat me out.
Yeah, but I think the minute that they there was a bunch of swears when you got bit though, too. Did you hear all the beeps?
Oh yes, yes. Well, how do we edit that?
I think it was like shit. That effer strong.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but we'll see you guys next week. Visit us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, Apple.
Are we gonna
kind of the whole works?
You know what we should do? We should do like a car giveaway.
A car giveaway?
Yeah, like a giveaway.
I've done here. Before we go, I'm gonna enlighten Rob on this. I've given away cars before.
Yeah.
Right? And it's the worst thing possible on the earth.
Yeah.
So the first year I bought the store in Concord, we gave a car away. And it was okay, right? The guy was a nice guy. He was happy. He was excited and everything. And he actually came back because the next year I had 3 stores then, and we gave away 3 cars.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that he won in Concord, that guy that won came out, right? He was so excited when the guy won, the new guy won. He helped clean up the facility and everything afterwards. We had thousands of people there. We did it at my Northampton store. The guy filed a Better Business Bureau complaint with us because he had to pay the taxes for the car.
Okay.
Well, and he started screaming in the middle of the showroom.
How about we build a diesel for myself? And I'll pay for
for free.
And I'll pay for it.
We'll give a car giveaway. We'll give it to Rob Ninkovich.
We'll build the car, and then I'll drive it, and then I'll tell you how it is. How about that? And then you maybe I'll give a fan a ride.
I'm okay building a car. I think that'd be cool to build a car.
Build.
You know, like find something.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I think too? We got to go to Precision Industries. Pat, my buddy Pat owns Precision Industries, one of the best. Built my Buick. We're going to go over there to a shop. We're going to do a show from there, too.
Yeah, we definitely got to do a show there.
Yes, we'll do that.
I think we need Papa Ninkovich on the show, too.
Papa Ninko?
Yeah, I mean, we're already explicit rating and everything, so I think it's fine.
He just made a comment on Instagram, and I don't, it's not a great one.
What is it?
I'll read it to you after.
Can't read it on air.
No.
We'll get like an NC-17 then.
It's bad. He's on Instagram. Papa, get off Instagram.
Yeah. All right, but we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
You know, and hopefully we'll have another good show. Thanks, guys.